Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 237. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Stretch. What's up, SLAC fam? What up, my boy?
What it do? Back in the building again. And first off, I definitely got to mention that the time change for some people. You know, us in Arizona, we don't really represent that daylight savings time. It's hot enough, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
But for some of us in different time zones, the time might have changed. But just to let y'all know, it's always 6 o'clock our time, which now for y'all that went an hour ahead, might be an hour later. So that's what it is, though. Definitely want to welcome Anthony West to the show. He's on the time change. That's what's up.
Ant made it. Okay.
Welcome in. Good evening. And definitely want to hear his opinion as well. But yeah, today's show definitely going to be about the free agent frenzy. There's so many moves that have happened that it's kind of impossible for us to cover everything. But we're going to go over the top ones, and then, obviously anything else we want to discuss. And then over the next weeks and as we see things continue to shape out, we'll kind of be able to grade which teams have done the best so far. So that's definitely on tap today. We don't have too much other sports news. We're going to be heavy on the NFL, with our time today. But that being said, Strizzy, how are you doing? What's good with you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Literally just saw Panthers made another move. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a really good one. Aside from that, man, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, same. Everything is good over here. Time's just flying by. We're about to be halfway through March. It's pretty crazy how quickly. Exactly. It's getting warm already. But want to welcome in Pops as well to the show. Welcome in, Pops. Appreciate you being here. Definitely want to hear his thoughts on free agency so far, especially for our Cowboys. But let's go ahead. We're going to jump into it. But before we do, we want to round out the panel and bring in our brother, Mad Marcus.
What up, peoples?
What's
man,
good?
Let's get it started, man. I don't want to talk about that, man.
All right. We'll get straight to it. Let me pull up these graphics real quick. And as we do, I want to welcome in Grace as well. Hello, happy Tuesday. Appreciate you being here with us. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right into the free agency. And I kind of put the biggest signings first for us to talk about before we jump into kind of, more of these top moves. But for me, I think the biggest one was really Derrick Henry today. We were waiting for that domino to fall on the running back side, but also kind of a steal for the Steelers and getting Russell Wilson a little bit early ahead of the market. And then Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons. An interesting landing spot. I didn't really expect it. I want to get your guys' thoughts, though, on these kind of top three. But starting with you, Strizzy, and with the Derrick Henry move, how do you feel about that for the Ravens?
Oh, man, I called it. So I knew it was going to happen. It just made the most sense. You know what I mean? It was one of those things. I know we talked about it. I think maybe late last season, or maybe as soon as the season ended at the Super Bowl, we talked about Henry possibly being a Cowboy. But as the offseason kind of progressed, it just felt like Baltimore made the most sense. You know what I mean? They're a ground and pound game. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and Henry for so long has been running behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league, kind of creating his own holes, right? So I think going here where the hole's just going to kind of gaping for him, like, I don't know what linebacker core can stop him. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be pretty nasty as long as he can stay healthy. So I thought that was a huge one. And they're not paying too much for him either.
I think it's 2 years. Yeah, 2 years up to $20 million. So he got a little bit less than the top backs on the market. But Marcus, what did you think? You want to jump in on that one?
I think it's a great move for him, but I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be really run heavy now. I think it's going to be kind of hard. I think if they get in the goal line, it's going to be tough to stop. I think they're going to be number one in goal line because you have your tight end, you have Lamar himself who can run the ball. Now you have a giant behind you, and you got Flowers and Odell, those guys. So I think that goal line offense is going to be tremendous. And I think they'll do good. I just hope I hope they don't try to do too much too early. It's kind of like just pace themselves. I think it's for them to win this year. So they stay healthy. I still like I say all the time, every year now, you can never count out the Chiefs. So I still put the Chiefs number one. But I think if they stay healthy, they'd be a team who will beat the Chiefs with their run game. They can do it this year. So that's what they was probably missing last year.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And you both kind of alluded to it as like, at his age, like if he can stay healthy, but I do feel like they will kind of, be sneaky, be smart with him, kind of save him for that later in the year when those other teams are tired. And I do think that this could kind of extend his career. You guys both touch on it, like with Lamar being the running threat, they can just do that little option game, and you can't really account for everything that they can hit you with. So it'll be interesting. The Ravens led the league in rushing last year without like a bell cow back, and now they're getting a guy like him. So that'll be very interesting, though. We'll see how Todd Monken handles those duties. Want to welcome in Kelly to the show. Happy Tuesday. And also Unk checking in from Texas.
Yep. So,
welcome to the show. But yeah, I think that one is going to be kind of scary to see how that all pans out. Also wanted to talk about the Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Now they actually added some more weapons on top of the weapons that they already had. And so assuming he can come back healthy, that should be pretty interesting to see over there. The Vikings now kind of quarterbackless, but if you're Kirk Cousins, would you like the situation with the Falcons better? Go step out and get a new situation going?
For me, not really. I feel like the Falcons have a lot of talent, right? They have really good running back, and they didn't even use him to the potential last year. Drake London's decent, you know what I mean? I think he's a number 2 guy if you have a number 1 guy, honestly. And then I think Pitts honestly have not had the offensive coordinator or the quarterback to really, bring all of his talents out. So you bring Kirk Cousins in, I think he does that. Like, he's going to a place with a multitude of weapons. But I wouldn't necessarily, aside from the running back position, I wouldn't necessarily say that the weapons in Atlanta are better than the weapons in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good spot for him. But I think the biggest thing here is this man's agent, man. Like,
yeah,
the amount of fully guaranteed money this man's agent just keeps getting this dude is insane, bro. And not a lot of playoff success. I mean, the numbers are definitely there. Like, he's had some great numbers over the last couple of years, but just, man, like, his agent is the man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see as time goes. Not looking forward to seeing him on the NFC South, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I think he will do well over there. But I do think that might have been what it was. He was kind of following the money, and Minnesota saw what they had and weren't really willing to pay up. But yeah, Kirk Cousins has had a lot of big contracts, considering especially where he came from. So I don't know, though. I kind of favored him to stay at home, but it'll be interesting to see him play for the Falcons as they still trying to replace Matt Ryan. So what about Russell Wilson with the Steelers? Marcus, I know you're going to hate to see him in black and gold, but
yeah, I called it last week. I know he can go there and do something. I hated he going there to make them that much better. So I think that's all they were really missing. But they did lose a receiver. I thought they were going to keep Johnson, but he left. But I think overall, if they get a nice cornerback, I know Joey Porter Jr. is a nice cornerback, but I think they get like a nice shutdown and somebody get some help on that side of the ball, they could be great. And they got what's call him too? What's his name? Queen. They got Queen today, and they got I think Burns too, right? No, Burns went somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Burns with the Giants.
Okay, but yeah, I think Queen is gonna be a pickup for them. If they get a nice secondary, because Pressure Peterson that they got on more. They get a nice corner. They got fixed Patrick back there too. They'll be the team to be. I think Russell, but I think it's gonna be a little pressure on Russell now because he has no excuse. He has a good team. He has a good coaching organization. So let's see how you do with that now. See if it was you or it was the team. You know what I'm saying? Or the organization in Denver. So I think it's gonna be a little pressure. He got to play and be up to par now. But I think with a nice running game back there and some good receivers, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. No excuses now. Will Denver be a blip on the radar, or will it be like the beginning of the end for him? I guess we'll find out really quickly because they are in a good situation there with the Steelers. But I did like what they did with Queen as well, and I am going to bring in the rest of these top guys, if you will. And I know it's a lot of people down there, but we'll kind of walk through them. But yeah, Queen going to the Steelers. I feel like because they got Russell Wilson on that veteran minimum deal, they had that extra cap space to go and get a guy like Queen. They're only going to have to pay like $1.2 million out of his salary, and then the Broncos pay the rest, which that sucks for them. But smart for the Steelers to kind of get that deal. So them getting Patrick Queen help bring that defense back to where it's keep it where it's been, I guess. That should be pretty interesting. So more running backs went. I was curious, Strizzy, if you were surprised by where Josh Jacobs and also Joe Mixon getting released and where he ended up too with the Texans.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, I was a little surprised, but not too surprised. We talked about it a little bit earlier, kind of off air. we were kind of talking about, these running backs, a little upset, last year, but just literally none of them got deals. All of them got franchise tag, right? So didn't seem like a lot of them were going to stay with their teams, you know what I mean? And pretty much all of them jumped ship. So wasn't really surprised by it. The Mixon one, I guess a little surprised. He's been there his whole career, but I think he's going to be a great running back for Texas for Stroud. He's great pass catching running back, so he'll do really, really well there as long as he can stay healthy. I know he had a little bit of health issues last season, but no, I wasn't too surprised, man. I think all of them leaving kind of made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely thought, that they would all find new situations. Saquon to the Eagles is kind of weird. It's funny that there was discussion about him maybe landing with the Cowboys, but him staying in the division so he can go up against the Giants. I think that's pretty interesting. But still him, I think he only got like 3 years, 36. And I say only because that is good for a running back, but like second wide receivers and like third string wide receivers are making that much money now, which is kind of crazy. It shows you how the value has definitely shifted. But
for sure.
But yeah, that was pretty interesting to see Saquon stay in the division though. But now with the Eagles, with a better offensive line, we'll see if he can keep it going. But I'm not really scared of him. I hope they flop. I hope Kellen Moore doesn't use him to his full potential, but we'll see. Anthony West says Houston has had a phenomenal start on paper. I think they have as well, getting Danielle Hunter on the defensive side, and then also getting Mixon is a great weapon, like you were talking about, Strizzy, to go with Stroud. So I think the Texans have done a great job, though. They're sneaky, kind of becoming pretty nice.
Yeah, man, they're taking full advantage of Stroud not having a quarterback contract yet, so a lot of these guys are getting like 2-year deals, so they can take advantage of just getting better on both sides of the football. And Stroud's not making $200+ million yet, which he will soon.
Right, for sure. Marcus, did you have any thoughts on Tony Pollard going to Tennessee? Do you like that move? Or?
Well, I think it's good for him. He's from there. He's from Tennessee, so I think it was good for him. He going back home. And I think a team that they can use him like that. I don't think they'll use him as the number one back. They probably use him the 2 back like anybody else should. So I think he'll do good there. But I'll wait till we talk about something else, man. But yeah, it's okay.
I got you. And speaking of the Brian Burns trade, checking in the chat, Pop says Panthers owner is stupid. Could have gotten a number 1 and more for Burns last year. And I think they ended up with like 2 seconds and a 5th. Strizzy, were you cool with that though, based on them possibly trading Burns in the past, and now that they finally have what they got for it?
Nah, man, because there's got to be something that we don't understand as non-GMs of the NFL. Because first and foremost, I think we knew we were going to trade Burns a long time ago. So not getting the 2 firsts from the Rams doesn't make a lot of sense. If we were going to trade him, we should have done it then. So then we franchised him, right? But we didn't give him the full franchise tag. We basically gave him the tag that said other teams can offer him a different contract, and if we don't match it, then the other team gets him. But then we get 2 first compensation picks. So so we only got a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick for him.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to why didn't we just allow the Giants to offer him a contract, not match it, and then get 2 firsts for it? Why did we make the trade? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. There's got to be something that we don't understand in regards to being a GM, because if it makes sense to me, why didn't it make sense to them? There's got to be something else that we don't get. But as far as I'm concerned, it's dumb as hell. I was always okay with Burns leaving as long as we got the right compensation for him. And twice now we did not get the right compensation for him. Dude's a monster. I'm sorry, y'all got to deal with him twice a year now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna be on y'all. But it's wild. I don't know. It's irritating. I've liked the direction we've gone, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But I was okay with it because I was like, we still have Luvu, and then we let Luvu go. So now I'm like, damn, what are we doing on the defensive side of the ball? We don't want to completely lose the defense, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of cleaning house on the defensive side of the ball. So,
right.
just wasn't a big fan of what we got back for him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do like though they went out and got 2 different guards to protect Young, and then they did trade for Johnson from the Steelers, so
Yeah, I like that
give
one.
him another weapon.
Yeah.
So they are making some moves, but yeah, you're right. Like, don't leave the defense too depleted because that was the only thing keeping y'all together.
For real.
Let's see. I was trying to see what else happened in the comments. Oh, Pop said the brother that went from the Dolphins to the Raiders. Yeah, Wilkins. He signed a big contract with the Raiders, 4 years. I think it was like over $100 million. So it's crazy though. Defensive tackles making that kind of money, and then way more than running backs. So pretty interesting. Let's see. Also, Anthony Weston mentioning Chris Jones coming back, the biggest free agent available. And yeah, he's one of a few guys that came back. So definitely a big piece for them. But they knew he was going to get paid, and he definitely did get paid. But a couple other guys coming back, Baker Mayfield going back to the Bucks, which was pretty cool too. And then Leonard Williams staying with the Seahawks. I always wanted Williams to be on the Cowboys just because his last name, and also because he's a beast. Like, that's the kind of like defensive tackle that we really need. But yeah. So a couple other guys, but I did want to talk about the Cowboys though, and the most important re-signing of all so far. We got our long snapper back. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was really worried about that. But the Cowboys basically doing nothing so far. Marcus, I wanted to go ahead and get your opinion. Anthony Weston was already joking earlier. The all-in Cowboys have not done much in free agency. And I know they can't do everything, but give us something. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling a little bit disappointed so far. But Marcus, how do you feel?
Well, first, I'm gonna be a football fan this year. Like I can't support the Cowboys this year. I don't care what people say. Oh, you're not real. I am. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing. So I just can't support it. Like, you bring Mike McCarthy back, should have. You get rid of Pollard. We all thinking you're gonna make a move, and get Henry. You don't make that happen. And we the biggest franchise, the biggest name in sports money wise. And we can't get, like, if all the teams we can't get nothing. Like, we are the Cowboys. We should be bullying people like we did back in the day. Like, we get what we want, do what we want. But we so soft now. We so weak now. Like, people don't respect us no more. I understand we lose. We haven't got a Super Bowl in our, but we still should be able to be the team that kind of bully people around, get what we want, and pay for what we want like that. But we don't do that. So I'm gonna say out this year with the Cowboys, man. I don't. There's nothing they can do that make me come back this year. I was already mad when they bring Mike McCarthy back. So I'm just gonna sit out this year with my Cowboys. I'll be a football fan, but it just kind of it's frustrating. Like, all these years we don't make nothing happen when we have opportunity. If we didn't have the potential, maybe we'll be good. But like, we have all the potential to do something. Like, and we're not doing it. The defense got better. He needs a little help, and you see what we need, and we don't make nothing happen. So next year we're gonna probably start with the rookie guy Brian running back this year. So it just frustrating, and like, just forget the Cowboys this year though. Like, I'm upset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely feel you. It's not easy being a Cowboys fan, and they get a lot of scrutiny. And you're right, the name is big, so they're always in the headlines, good, bad, or ugly. But I was expecting a little bit something more. I'm not exactly sure what their running back plan is. There's still A.J. Dillon out there. You know what I'm saying? There's still J.K. Dobbins. Ending up with one of those kind of guys doesn't really, excite me too much. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. Hopefully they have some kind of a plan.
J.K. Dobbins is a beast, but he ain't been able to play more than 2 games 2 years in a row, dog. Like,
yeah, he can't stay healthy.
Yeah. And everything's season ending. It's never like, oh, you played most of the season. Like, if anything, you grab Dylan. But it's funny. As not a Cowboy fan, it's one of the things where it was like, dang, there were so many running backs that y'all could have gone after, because I thought they were really going to try to do something when they let go of Pollard. So
yeah,
and at least going after Aaron Jones. Like, Aaron Jones would have been the man to me to go after. And I think was it you or Marcus that was like, no, he gone. I was like, oh, damn, for real. I was like, I didn't even know he got picked up. So I thought that was going to be their man. And
yeah,
apparently he already got picked up too.
Yeah, he did. He got scooped up too. And I can't remember where it was right now. I think it's the Vikings maybe Yeah, he's gone. Oh yeah, it is the Vikings because he's going to go against Green Bay. He went to their rivals. So a lot of interesting moves where players are switching to in division rivals. But yeah, the running backs got scooped up. I thought when Mixon got released, maybe Mixon, that would be kind of cool,
Same.
But looks like they're not willing to spend that money right now at all. So we'll see. I do want to welcome Joan to the show. She said someday I might like sports. Someday, Joan.
Someday
you might. But we'll have to cover something for you. I know that there's something out there that you like, so we'll have to keep it real for you. But appreciate you jumping on. But yeah, I don't know what'll end up happening with the Cowboys there. But let's see. The other thing I have on here is the quarterback carousel real quick. And a lot of these are just backup guys going around. But one interesting one, Sam Darnold signing a $10 million deal to go back or to go to the Vikings. Are they bringing him there to potentially start? Or do you think now the Vikings will try to be players and get some rookie quarterback in the draft? Or what do you think that their solution is now that they let Cousins walk?
I think give him a shot though. I think him getting a shot. I think it'll be good though. So I always thought Donald had some potential. So maybe see what he's gonna do. If he can't do it, then you put somebody else in. But I think give him a chance.
You know what's funny, Marcus? I actually agree with you, man. We as a Panther fan, there's a lot of scrutiny for him when he came over, and obviously it didn't really play out well. But a big part of that was coaching. You know what I mean? As soon as Wilkes took over, last year. 2 years ago, those final games, he damn near got us to the playoffs. Like Sam Darnold probably played the best ball of his life under Wilkes. You know what I mean? So, and anytime he came in too for when the 49ers are beating the crap out of somebody, he came in, no interception, got a touchdown or two, punched some yards. Like he has actually played well under good coaching staffs. So if Minnesota can get the best out of him, they might be okay. Not to mention he'll have Justin Jefferson to throw to. So. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you have a quarterback since you lost Cousins, but you can still make a move if you want to bring somebody else in. Like I wouldn't doubt them still trying to go after Justin Fields if that's something they want to do, or like A-Dub said, grabbing somebody higher up in the draft. But it's not as bad as a lot of people think. I think he's played really well under good coaches and played really bad under some bad ones. So we'll see what he can do.
That's a couple of different quarterbacks that have made their way through Carolina and somehow resurged their career, with Baker getting a big contract this offseason as well.
For real.
Very interesting there. I thought another one, Mac Jones, being traded to the Jaguars. He's a solid backup for them, but that was kind of interesting. Kind of sad that his Patriots, career is officially over like that. Just because I feel like he wasn't so bad. I feel like he wasn't really put in a good situation. But he wasn't so bad,
I don't see him staying there though. I don't think he didn't play there. I think he'll get picked up somewhere. Like you said, he's not that bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
He had no chance. Like he didn't have a chance there. Like, I mean, I'm not sure what New England was expecting, man. Like the players they had around him, were no better than the players that we had in Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like they were horrible. They weren't good, man. So.
I wonder if them doing that, if Cam Newton is still playing right now, because they took Mac Jones over Cam Newton. Yeah. So like, did you pull a gun too fast on that? Maybe I think maybe Cam might be still playing right now, like because I think he did okay with the Patriots, but they thought they seen something. I thought with Bill Belichick leaving too that he'll get a whole new clean slate, but it's crazy he left and I don't know.
Yeah. They had to like you said, they might have given up on Cam a little too early because they started out good and then Edelman went down and then it's kind of, he had no one to throw it to. But that year they had Mac, they had to make a decision, right? It was like our future or Cam, and they were trying to go with their future. So I'm with you on that too.
Yeah.
Might have been a little premature.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he was mishandled altogether there. The whole situation. So
who's the quarterback with the Commanders? Who is that?
Oh, Marcus Mariota. He went to the Commanders to be. Well, we'll see because the Commanders have the number 2 pick. But he could end up being, kind of like a bridge quarterback if they do go with the rookie at number 2 and then that rookie's not ready. Or he could just end up being a veteran backup, kind of like he was to Desmond Ridder last year. Mm-hmm. In the past, I should say. And then kind of how he was for Hurts. So the Commanders made some moves too. They grabbed Eckler which was kind of interesting.
They got a lot of people. They made a bunch of moves.
And they got Chin, a safety, which is, good because, Dan Quinn likes his defensive players that are, versatile. So the Commanders actually making some moves too. They're trying to get better.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew going to the Raiders. I think the Raiders are another one that they're going to end up drafting a quarterback, and we'll see like if they use Minshew as that veteran or if they just go with the rookie from the jump. And then Drew Lock going to the Giants, maybe to push Daniel Jones. I still feel like Drew Lock's another one that he just never really got a full chance, and he's still got some talent too. So, but all of this is to say too, we still don't know what's going to happen to Justin Fields. I felt like, and we kind of thought, he might be one of the first dominoes to go, and then everything would kind of fall behind him. But with the free agency period starting and them still not making a move, Justin Fields is still sitting there like, what's going to happen to me?
For sure.
I just feel like, though, there's no way they don't end up trading him, but maybe now he's traded in as a backup situation.
Yeah, I'm kind of irritated with it because I feel like this is going to be another one of those things where the organization just really F's over a player, right? Like if they end up continue to wait and then, till draft in April, and then they take Caleb even before they moved him, then it makes it even harder. You know what I'm saying? Even harder for him to go somewhere, and he really won't get that chance depending on where they send him. And his career could be a downward spiral after that. You know what I mean? Like Geno Smith type stuff don't happen very often. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I feel like the Bears are really going to screw him over.
Yeah, it's sad to see. It's weird. But I guess everybody wants that cheap quarterback though. Nobody wants to pay like that quarterback 5th year contract for that top rookie quarterback for whatever reason. So we'll see. Sam Howell is there. Anthony Weston says reminds us that Sam Howell stinks. It's weird though, because just last offseason the Commanders are like, this is the quarterback of the future, this is our franchise guy. And I think too that's what reminds me going into the draft as well. It's like every year they're like, oh, this guy, but it's like it's really hard. Most of these guys don't pan out and they end up on slides like this, just getting moved around after like 2-3 years. So we'll see. I do want to give a shout out to Stephanie Washington, though. She said she's working the WCC championship right now. Go Zags, have a great show. So that's what's up. Shout out to Stephanie Washington out there on location. Hopefully she enjoys working that game and she's got good view of the game as well. So that's what's up. Anthony Weston says Cowboys are going to end up with Clyde's Edward-Helaire. Marcus, what do you think about that? That moved the needle for you?
Nah. Marcus said, look, it don't matter what they do.
Yeah. I know. I just don't know. Yeah.
It's definitely wild. And Pops brings up a good point. Bears GM overplayed his hand, and not everyone's acting uninterested to steal his talent. And man, like I just look back at the season that he had last year. Like he missed a couple of games with the injury, but the ones he played in, he looked phenomenal, man. Like he finally had that number one guy. They were running the ball well. He didn't have to run the ball as much, but the games he did, they were unstoppable. Like I think he had 3 games with 4 or 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like that's a crazy jump from the first couple of years that he played for them. So like do right by that kid, man. That kid's got a lot of talent.
Yeah. Hopefully he will get a chance. Anthony West says Seahawks seem like a fit, but that would have to be a transition year too because they have their starter. Mm-hmm. But Pop says we know Fields is better than Minshew, Mariota for sure. Definitely.
Facts.
Most definitely. So those guys are getting a chance to potentially be a starter again or be a bridge guy. So all right. Any other ones I wanted to see in the comments or Strizzy, Marcus, that you guys wanted to bring up? Any other signings? Because I know there's been so many we couldn't really cover them all, but any that I might have missed so far. Or Strizzy, did you want to talk about the Panthers getting Johnson at wide receiver?
I liked it. I've said it for a while. I think Johnson's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. You just never had somebody capable of throwing it to him. You know what I mean? So I really like the move. It gives us another weapon at wide receiver. I think we might be trying to use our second round pick for a receiver too. I know we talked to the receiver at Texas, but I think he's going to the Chiefs, honestly. So what kind of seems going on there? But I love the guards. $150 million on two guards. It's a big deal. And I see what Canales is doing. He's going the route that they did with Drew Brees and the Saints. So I like what he's doing. I see what he's doing. And for me, you know what I mean? Like, as long as we can get a little bit more talent around Bryce Young, like, this is it, dog. Like, we're giving you the line. You know what I'm saying? We're giving you the protection, man. If you can't make something happen next year, dog, like, it just is what it is. You just went the right pick. And I think he has way more to prove than what people are saying he has to prove. You know, they talk about, oh, he didn't have, you know, the receiver help. The offensive line wasn't too good. But I watched every game last year. And even when the line did hold up, even when the receivers were wide open, he wasn't making things happen. So, to me, like, he has a ton to prove. Like, I don't want to hear all that, oh, no offensive line. Like, there are a bunch of plays where he had plenty of time to throw it and didn't get it done. So, this is it. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to get a real good look at what he's going to be made of next year, and especially with Canellis being an offensive-minded guy. So, we'll see. I'm hoping for the success. I'm not rooting against him. I'm hoping for it because we lost way too much to get him.
Yeah,
we lost way
too
much to get that man. So I'm definitely praying that this dude can show up and show out, you know, next year because we need it.
Yeah, most definitely. Anthony Weston got jokes. He said the Chiefs re-signed their long snapper too.
So did the Panthers. Panthers did too.
I mean, that's a vital piece, you know. Yeah. You can't go without that.
Yep.
No, but that's what's up. Dorrance Armstrong went to the Commanders too. Also, Dante Fowler Jr. So a couple different players from the Cowboys that Quinn is just stealing over there, you know, because he knows what's up with them. But Anthony West says, "Do you think Dak's contract is the issue? Contract situation is the issue with them not signing people?" I don't know, but if it is, then they should have just gotten it done already. But I feel like they kind of were committed to being like, oh, we're just going to let it ride that way. They did make some other moves with Martin's contract to try to clear up some cap space. So I don't know. I don't have no excuse for them right now. They gotta do something. All right. Let's jump to some other sports. If we think about anything else with the NFL, we'll come back to it. But again, more moves to be made. The actual players can't actually talk to or visit teams until tomorrow. So there'll be some more signings. I know Chase Young is going to visit the Panthers. So that'll be kind of interesting for you down there, Strizzy. Yeah. But I did want to jump to another announcement that came out and just get your guys' thoughts, opinions on this, and really to find out, will you be watching or do we need to have a watch party? Jake Paul is going to be fighting Mike Tyson. And I don't know the details yet. I don't know if they've announced, is it actually like a boxing match or is it an exhibition or what's going to be happening? But what I do know is Mike Tyson is like going to be 58 or he's like 58 years old.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's like 26 or 27. So he's definitely has youth on his side and size too. What do you think about this matchup though, Strizzy? What do you think about this latest exhibition setup?
It's just a bad idea for Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like it to me, it's just like he has everything to lose and not much to gain. You know what I'm saying? And Jake at the end of the day has like nothing to lose and everything to gain. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you lose to Mike Tyson. If you win, you beat Mike Tyson, right? And the last thing someone as big time and as famous boxer as Mike Tyson, the last thing you need to do is lose to a dude like Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I don't know. It's a horrible idea. You know, we've seen the training thing, the training videos with Mike, but getting in the ring is so different. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. And he's 58, dog. Like you ain't got nothing to prove, man.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. That's just horrible idea to me all around. I just hope he gets it done. Like even if it like goes decision or something, like I just hope he gets it done. It's not good look for our people, dog. Like if this man loses, it's not good look for our people, man. Like I'm not trying to say
it is a setup for sure, but yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see like how many rounds is it going to be. Is it going to be for real? Like, is it going to be going against their records or not?
Right.
Marcus, what do you think though? You going to watch it or?
I ain't watching that, man. I really hope it's not nothing serious, man. Because if it is, like, I can't stand Jake Paul. I really don't like him like one bit. I can't stand him, and he can really hurt Mike. So like he trains, he's strong. You gotta respect him. So I know Mike made him feel the same way about he don't too much like him either, but Mike don't have it no more. It's not a thing you should do. I know he might have one punch in him, but he can hurt Mike and he can do some damage to Mike. So I hope it's nothing like serious, like they don't really be punching because this dude he making us look silly. And when I say us, it's us black men. Like so he get Mike, man. That's gonna be bad to see. So I hope it's nothing serious like that. I hope it's not a real fight. Maybe it's somebody trying to do something like that. But if it's a real fight like he been doing, he gonna knock Mike out. He gonna do that. So I hope it's not real.
Yeah, I feel you too. Like everybody talking about it, I feel like is kind of thinking of like Mike Tyson, like as we saw him before, like 25 years ago type of thing.
Right.
You know, like not thinking of like who he would be now. And like Unc says, Tyson's still very scary, and they do have some, videos of him in the workouts and stuff like that. But I'm like scary, like in like for an instant, but not like for an actual like preparing for a boxing match. And that's one thing with Paul is actually true, is that he is trained. Like he does take his training seriously though. So as far as that goes, and the youth, like just the youth factor alone is like a big difference. I agree with you though, Strizzy. One of the first thing he says, like, it's just lose for Tyson, because I mean, if you win, like you said, you're supposed to, and if you lose, it's like, dang, that's just a weird thing. And especially with him being like more of like a legend, like you don't need to do that,
Exactly.
That's the same way I felt with Mayweather, like doing these extra fights, and like he was so much closer to his career. But even then, like him doing these things, I'm like, man, just don't need to do that, like just you make plenty of money, you don't need to be a part of this kind of like spectacle kind of thing.
Non-boxing fans know how crazy, like how legendary Mike Tyson was, and they'll talk more about the ear thing more than anything else. But real boxing fans will talk about how great Mike was, right? Like they could just 25 years later, 30 years later, can still just be like, man, y'all ain't watch Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't really watch Mike. Like, this dude was he was an absolute monster. Like you said, he's legendary. Like, he don't need this. Like, he don't need this fight. Like, fighting Jake. Like, you want to keep fighting dudes like Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to fight dudes like Jake. Like, fight somebody else that's, your age, and, have some fun exhibition matches. Like, we don't need to do something like this.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Pop says Mike should knock this fool out. I wish, I hope. Anthony Weston says, I'll say this: if Mike lands one or two of those throwback punches, it's a wrap for Paul.
Right.
I hope
he ain't not letting none of them punches on Jake Paul. So don't do it. That's period. Don't do it. But I wonder why Jake Paul going backwards though. Like he was fighting what's called brother. He lost. So why you don't try to get a rematch with that? Like why see he knows he's trying to go back and get these little free extra money and stuff like that. And it's happening. Like good doing it. Go fight that. Go to a rematch on.
Yeah, I agree. With Tommy Fury, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And they're supposed to, but he's like, let me chase these dollars. Let me get something that we can just hype up again. And so it's all money to him. You know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, he's still a content creator, and being a content creator is giving people kind of like what they want to see, not necessarily what we should see. What's best,
what's best, exactly.
He's trying to go viral again, basically. It's like that's kind of his MO. Pop says Tyson's never really reached his potential, and I would agree with that in some instances, but he still showed us what he had, I guess. But he was never going to have.
He couldn't stay out of trouble. That's he couldn't stay out of trouble. He
wasn't going to have like a professional type career. He always had something going on, a little extra. But Unc agrees with that. But I like Mike. I just don't like him for this. Like I just don't like this situation here. Anthony West says I may try to go since it's here. Yeah, it's going to be in the Cowboys Stadium, which I wonder how many tickets they'll sell. I wonder how they'll do that up. But yeah, maybe Anthony Weston can report live from out there. So that would be dope.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who else is going to be on the card, because they're going to sell. Like Jake Paul he's a big commodity, man. Like him or hate him, like the dude's got fans, dog, and millions of them. And then all the people around our age and a little bit older who are going to want to see Mike fight again. You know what I mean? Just to watch him fight. The tickets is gonna sell. So we'll see.
Speaking of that, Pop says we are watching this. right, there it is.
We gonna watch this.
Well, especially we'll confirm once they come out with the rules, because I'm still wondering if they're going to try to do some kind of like it's only this many rounds, or it's I don't know. Anthony West says, "You think he could fight Bivol?" No, not yet.
Yeah,
I don't think so. But that's funny. So Pops, I mean, hey, well, we know where it's at, so we'll head to the man cave.
Man, speaking of boxing, y'all see Francis get knocked out?
Yeah, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
And I guess it goes to show, too, because Joshua was kind of down on his luck these last couple of fights. But, I mean, it's that boxing technique is just different.
Yep. I think I was just so surprised because he fought Fury so well. Like, the Fury fight was a legit good one. And Joshua just put him down, man. Like, he put him down quick, too.
It's like, it's crazy though. Ngannou, like, he wanted to get into boxing, like, and pick like two of probably like the toughest opponents he could have picked, like right off the bat. So he should have kind of maybe worked his way up a little bit, but obviously he's a warrior. He wasn't afraid to go in there and let that happen, I guess. So
yeah.
Unk says, I wonder what's the pay-per-view fee. I don't know. It's actually going to stream on Netflix, and this is going to be Netflix's first time doing like live events. So I wonder if it'll be cheaper for Netflix subscribers or something, but it's going to be a fee. It's definitely going to be a fee. Unk says Tyson versus Joshua. Hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't think so. No way. No way.
No.
Yeah. All right. I think only a couple other things we were gonna mention. AD with the historic game the other night, pretty dope. And I hate to say it, I got to knock on wood because he's actually playing pretty well, and he's actually being that main role that the Lakers need him to be. He kind of asserted himself in the games where LeBron has been out, but even when LeBron came back, still had a great game. Marcus, tell me what talk to me.
Don't get your hopes up with that guy, man. Stop. He gonna let you down every time, man.
He gonna hurt your feelings next week.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't want to jinx it. I hope I don't spoil it. But
we should be talking about Russell 44 than talking about him. Russell
true.
He's doing a bit. To me, he's got better potential than AD does.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad y'all didn't let D'Lo go, man. Like I know he needs to do it when it counts in the playoff time, but he's been hooping for y'all. Like he's been hooping for y'all. He took that trade stuff serious, personally.
Yeah, no, that definitely hurt him, and I agree. Like he's stepping up, and it's like it shouldn't have taken the trade deadline for that to happen. It should have happened last year in the playoffs, but that's all good. That can all be forgiven if you keep this thing rolling. Do this in April. When it counts. Do this in May. And no, he's definitely balling out though. Yeah, he's definitely getting his confidence. So, I do agree with that. But I did think it was cool that they brought him the cake, and the fact that AD's dad looks like exactly like him.
Yeah, he do.
What game? What kind of game did he have? Like I didn't see it. What
okay, so he had 27 points, 25 rebounds, 7 steals, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. And it's never been, I guess, somebody to get that many in all those different categories. I guess you know how they do it, but it's like nobody never had like 20 points, 20 boards, 5 assists, 5 blocks.
Who were they playing?
It was the Kings, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the Kings. Yeah. You know what's crazy though? Anytime AD takes the defensive approach, he has games like this. When he gets in there trying to, play offense and just take every shot, an outside jumper, and like it doesn't go for him. When he's aggressive on the, defensively on the glass, getting blocks, getting steals, things of that nature. Like these are when he has these type of games. Even in the playoffs, getting to the Western Conference Finals, like they did that with AD being defensive. You know what I'm saying? Like 17 points, but also grabbing 15 rebounds a game type stuff. Whereas like you let the other guys play the offensive role, but when he's just not aggressive on the defensive side, that's when we're just like, dang, what is AD doing? You know what I mean? Like that's when we start talking about he can go, he can be traded, all this fun stuff. But man, when he plays defense though, man, like these are the games he has. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I feel you. He has that potential, and that's what he needs to be, and so that LeBron can extend his career too.
Right.
So we'll see. Pop says Lakers are bums without AD, but that's why we need him to be playing well. And actually, it was the Timberwolves. It wasn't the Kings. I'm sorry, it was the Timberwolves, which is legit too.
They were without Cat and Gobert that game.
So says Embiid back that 25 boards. Is Embiid back yet? And Pop says no. Still sitting at home.
He said still fat lady sitting at home. You know who I like on the Lakers though? Who I think kind of like a little bit lights a fire under AD's butt. What's the kid y'all got? He's just hustle player. He just always getting rebounds, offensive and defensive. Curly hair kind of.
Max Christie.
Yeah,
him.
Yeah, Christie. I think he kind of lights a fire under AD a little bit in the sense of just like, if this kid can do this, dog, like you're a lot better than him. You gotta get out there and do it. So, but I like that kid though. He does a lot for them when he makes the most out of his minutes, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, no, he's pretty cool. And I think it's his second year now, but he played a little bit last year, but now he's definitely playing more.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit more minutes now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's close. He's damn near close some games out just with his energy and just going out there and giving the Lakers second opportunity. So I think he's gonna be good for them come playoff time.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely doing good. It's almost like Reeves too did like in his second year development. Like they're actually developing players now, which is kind of different. So I like that. Not really too much else going on basketball wise. We're just gonna continue to kind of watch these little standings. It's funny, we were kind of talking up the Celtics and then they lost a couple games last week, so that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? We maybe put a little juju on them. Yep. But other things going on, baseball. So I think we might have missed the Dodgers boys because they're leaving early. Actually, they're playing a week from tomorrow in Korea, and they're actually starting off the MLB with their World Tour. So the first couple games coming up really soon, and then that last week of March will be opening day. So we're about 2 weeks away from everybody being in opening day, and we still got to try to see if we can make our spring training happen. But we might not be able to see the Dodgers. We might have to check out another team because they're leaving a little bit early. And then the other thing I did want to remind us of is March Madness. I'm going to launch the March Madness again. So we are going to do the brackets. So make sure you use that Yahoo. You should be getting an invite from them. And then we'll also put it in our link in bio. So if you guys want to share it with friends, get some more people in it, the more the merrier. I think our boy Steven Springfield won last year, so we're gonna have to try to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to try to make something happen. So that's what's up. Unk says Lakers need Patrick Beverly. No way.
Nah, they're good actually.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be all right. But we'll see. Still gonna be interesting to see the East though. Celtics, the Bucks look good, and then in the West, there's a lot of teams top to bottom. Not the Warriors though. I'm not worried about them, but everybody else, we'll see. But that's pretty much it. I think I don't know. Again, there's so many different free agency moves, and more will kind of come to us. We'll kind of see what happens over this next week until we meet again. But I think we'll pretty much leave it right there. Unless you guys had anything else you wanted to mention on there. But I was gonna see. I think March Madness actually starts like a week from tomorrow too. So definitely get signed up and then get those brackets in, because I think this Sunday will be Selection Sunday where they'll put everybody into the bracket. So get ready for that. But other than that, we'll leave it right there. And again, so much going on with the NFL, but every other sport kind of slow for us, which is legit. We can take our little breaks and recharge a little bit, but we'll shut it down there. That was episode 237 of Say Like a Champ. But for now, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Shizzy.
And you say the truth.